Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we are going to work on an Art Deco style, well, as close as we're going to get, necklace using our Softflex Design Challenge Kit, Deco the Hulls. It's going to be a really pretty one, and we're going to end it with some black and silver chain reaction from Jesse James Beads. So let's turn down and I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, so I have some black onyx Softflex beading wire. Now, what came in the kit was champagne, but I decided most of what I've got here is black or silver, other than these few beads here, so I'm just going to use the black. And also from my stash, we've got this length of chain reaction. This one is number 11. It's black and silver. That one will be the ending. Then we have a lobster claw, a large jump ring for our lobster claw, and a couple of crimp tubes. Then we have all of our beads here, as well as over here I have my some of my smaller jump rings. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this big old bead here. It's going to be our focal. And we're going to put, I believe, this melon bead. Then the black pearl. Crystal spacer. Big, this big crystal rondelle. And then this crystal spacer, one of these teardrops, one of these little guys here. I call them disco balls because they are just a whole bunch of little crystals all crunched together. So there's our little disco ball. Of course, we're going to be doing the same thing on this side over here. This, come on you, this, teardrop, this guy, now we're going to put this, and then this little octagon here, this on the other side of it. Then we're going to have this, the one that matches the smaller one down here. Then one of these again. Oops, this one has a piece sticking up. Let's see if we can get it to go back down. Let's see, which way do you need to go? I think this way. I'm not sure this is going to want to go down into place. If it doesn't, oh, there it goes. So on the other side of that, and then this little black piece, and then we're going to crimp onto these little rings here, and then the rings will be jump ringed onto our chain, and then we'll decide on its finished length and go from there. Since I've already got this all laid out, all I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a length of Softflex off of here, and I'm just going to work right off of the spool. So we'll start with this little black one, then our disco ball, the little this one. Now, if I had looked and found some tiny, actually, I might, just a second. Where do I have my crystals? I thought I had them right beside me here. If I do, I need my tiniest crystals, which I thought I had right here. Oh, just a second. I'll be right back. Okay, this little color here is about the same color as these guys. So I'm going to, yeah, they'll fit in there fine. I'm going to take this out. We're going to drop the little crystal onto the wire so that it drops into the cage. Then we'll pull the wire back out just enough to get the cage to come up. So now that we've got that done, we can put the next one on here. And then we'll do the same with this one. Now I think these are 3mm little crystals. So this little trap won't take a very large crystal, but it will take a tiny one. I think I may have let the crystal loose. I did. The first one cooperated so well. Now the second one doesn't want to cooperate very well. That's all right. We can make it work. Okay. There we go. And our crystal is in there. So now we put this one on. Our next crystal ball. The little sky. I think I may need to give myself a little more wire here, but that's fine. We will worry about it when we get to that point. Now we're at our next trap. There we go. And our second trap. See if I can show you a little better how to do this. Go through the first hole in the bottom, let it go up out of the hole. Take your little tiny crystal, and if you're going to do this, I advise you to check your crystal before you try this, because sometimes they're a little too big. And so then re-pull it back down till you're not quite or just at the crystal there. And then find the hole and go through again. So there is that one. Oh yeah, this guy. The crystal. And our last little piece here. So there is our bead strand. See how long that is. We'll put this on here so we don't knock our beads off while we're measuring. And it ends up being about 10 inches. Now, I don't know how long I want to make this. I'm thinking about 22, 24. So since it's already 10, we only need about 14 inches. Well, our chain reaction is always 18 inches. So we're going to have to cut some of it off. But first we need to jump ring the first side onto one of these rings. And since these are closed rings, we have to do it right up front. So through this we go. And since this is the first side and you don't have to worry about it being too loose or anything yet, you can hook this right to it without worrying about pulling it up tight yet. So now we'll get our crimper plier and put the crimp right in the middle. Turn, do it again, and turn until it doesn't want to squish down anymore. And by that time it should be a little ball like that. So there we go. Now we'll roll these things through here. See how many of them will actually go through our 2 wires. Looks like all of them, so that's good. So now we'll roll this down to this side, and I'm going to cut the wire right here. Oops. And I cut a little, I must have a little spot in my flush cutters because they don't want to behave quite well. So now we want to slide it all down to this side, and it is. So then we'll put on our crimp tube, go through our ring, and then go through our wires. Now we'll pull it up, push these down, pull it up again, push it down, and now that we've got this about, let's check to see if it's about the same as the other side. It's a little bit smaller, but as you can see it needs to push down some more anyway. So we'll pull it down a little more, and I think we're pretty good right there. So let's make sure she's all down good. And it's pulled up again. So we need to push it in place. Okay. And now we will put our crimping pliers in there. And crimp. And turn and crimp again. And then we want to clip this extra wire off. Okay, there is our bottom piece on the rings. So now we have to decide the length we want it, and then we will get our chain reaction out and close this up so we don't lose any of our little beads. Now, as we already figured out, I think this was 10 inches. It may be a little longer now since we put the rings on. Yeah, it's now 11. So if we want it to be 20 inches, we need, well, even if we wanted 22, we'd need 10 inches because our lobster claw is going to take up a bit. So I'm going to decide if I brought these rings up to my collarbone, then I need about this says 14 inches. That wouldn't be right. That'd be 25 inches. I don't think we want it that long. But then I did have my hair in there too, so let's measure again. I'll pull my hair out and we will decide. Now it says 12. So that's about 24 inches. That'd be the max I'd want it. So we'll get about, I think I'm actually only going to get 10 inches out, 5 inches on for either side. Now this always has a split ring in it, and there's always a bead right beside the split ring. So if I want 10 inches of chain reaction, then I need it, take it off the split ring first so we can measure. And if we start right here, oops, upside down, 10 inches is right here, and then that middle bead right there would be in the middle. So what we could do is, if we wanted this bead, we could take it and cut it right here, or even maybe one link down so that it's not directly on there. It's going to be a little longer than I want that way. That will hook here. And then we can take it from this side. No, we can't. Well, but if we cut it in the middle, that will work right there. We'll just cut it right here and right here. And it'll probably be a little longer than we want it, but we'll see here in a second. So this part is extra. We don't need it. Let's take the split off of this side. And we'll put it back on here. And then we'll put this stuff aside. We don't need any more of it. Though I will tell you that I always keep my scraps of chain reaction because they're great for making earrings. So put those up. And now we have these little strands. We'll have this once we cut it in half, right here. And so we'll have two halves. And it ends up being 6 inches, so that is the 12 inches that I was saying we could make it be. And if we wanted it smaller, we would take a few links out of the back so that we still have this ring, this bead relatively close. So now what we need is a couple of my Tinky Tots. And we're going to open those up and hook the chain reaction to the link. Okay, now our next step is to take our chain reaction, now that we've got it cut, and we want to hook it onto our rings. I've already got a couple of Tinky Tots that I've already got open, so we will just put it on the ring, go through our chain reaction's last link here, and close it up. Do the same with the other side. Through the ring, through the bottom link of our chain, making sure we got the right side. And see, I didn't have the right side. I would have had it the wrong way. So now we want the right side, the side with only 2 links. And through the ring, and close her up. That looks like it's still a teeny bit open, so I'm going to do my best to get it to close up better. There we go. So now our last step is to put on our lobster claw. So we just open this other Tinky Tot I have up here by grabbing it on both sides and just giving it a twisting motion. Now, if you're not familiar with jump rings, do not try to pull them open. You need to twist them open so that they will keep their integrity. If you pull them open, you'll lose their integrity and they won't go back together very well. So, there's our lobster claw on. I wasn't sure that would go on with the Tinky Tot, but it went just fine. And now we'll see if this one will go on. It may not. It may be too big because these little holes that these little guys have are just dinky winky. And I'm not sure. Nope, this guy won't go through. So what we need to do is get a Tinky Tot. Just one. Just one. And put through the link. And now that link needs to go through our jump ring. Now I'm going to get an unopened one so I don't have to reclose that one. And just put this open one back in here for when I need to open one next. And then we'll put this bigger jump ring through the little one here. And then close the little one up. Now that popped open just a little bit, so I'm going to scoosh it a bit so it will stay closed better. That feels sharp. I must have done some damage to the jump ring when I put it on. Oops, now I did because it popped open. So we will get a new one out. This one is no good because I have damaged it. So we'll just take this off, throw it away, and get a new one out. Keep saying I only want one. Oh, there's one in the... So open this new one up, being careful not to snap it this time. I'm pretty sure that's what I did, and I left a burr on the edge of the... So through the chain, through the, oh, I have a whole bunch of them here, through the, and close this baby up. And she is done. Just hook this guy onto here. And our necklace is finished. Now this may be longer than I wanted. If it is, I will go back in and we will take a few pieces out. I'm going to try it on quickly and see where it's hanging at. Okay, I do want it to be a tiny bit shorter, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these two links out here, that are here towards the back. And then I am going to hook it back together, and that will give me the length that I want. I'm fairly positive. So we'll take these two links out right here. And do the same on this side. 1, 2. Now I will take these pieces back off and put them on the side that we're working with. And then she will be done. And I am going to save these little pieces. Like I said, they're great for earrings. So if you do things like this, don't forget that and throw them away. You don't want to throw them away. That side's redone. Got a hair stuck in my lobster claw. I'll have to get that out in a minute. So we'll put this back on. And close it up. Now that hair must be in the joint here where it clicks up and down. And yes, it was. There we go. It's out now. Now we'll put these away, and these two pieces of chain will go into one of my little special side pieces here where I can easily find it. And we are now again finished. There is our necklace all done. So here we are. It's all finished. Our necklace using our Deco the Halls challenge kit from Softflex company. Most of these beads are from our bead pack from in there. Some of them are from the strand, like this big guy here, and these two. From also matching the Deco the Halls kit. These all came from Jesse James Beads. They are specially made for Softflex. The only one I believe that didn't come out of the kit were these really cool little beads here. Now, on our chain reaction, it was chain reaction number 11, I believe, that we hooked it up to. And I think we ended up with probably about 22 to 24 since I took that one bead out. It is 22. Or not the beads, the links. But it's a really nice length, I think. Let's see if I can get it without catching my hair again. There we go, like that. Isn't that pretty? It's a nice, elegant little necklace. I hope you enjoyed making this with me. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and again, we've been using our Softflex Design Challenge Kit, Deco the Halls. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.